If you've ever had to stop in the middle of your gaming to flex your hands and wrists due to cramping, you could likely benefit from incorporating a few hand exercises into your gaming routine. While gaming rarely works out the muscles that weightlifters at the gym are so obsessed with, it does put a lot of stress on your hand and wrist muscles at the joints that can result in pain and cramps over time. But not to worry. Before we talk about new routines, it's worth knowing what a joint is. A joint is where bones meet. There are several different types of joint in the human body. The top of a baby's head is soft because the bones of the skull have not grown to meet each other. When they do, the bones fuse together to form what's called a fixed joint that cannot move. The bones in your spine are connected together by discs of cartilage. There's only slight movement between the vertebrae. The head can be moved from side to side because there is a movable pivot joint at the top of the spine in your neck. This is in contrast with freely movable joints. Now, freely movable joints are called synovial joints because they contain a fluid called synovial fluid. Synovial fluid acts as a lubricant to make movement easier. There are two examples we will discuss: the shoulder and the elbow joints. The shoulder joint is an example of what's called a ball and socket joint. The rounded head of one bone fits into a socket in the other bone. The bones are held together by ligaments. The ball and socket are covered with cartilage and synovial fluid fills the joint. These both help to reduce the friction between the bones. The hip joint is another example of a ball and socket joint. Notice the rounded head, which looks like a ball at the top of the femur, the longest bone in your body. This fits into the socket in your pelvis. Now, here is another type of synovial joint, which is called a hinge joint. Hinge joints are found in the elbow and the knee. Hinge joints allow movement in just one direction. If someone is born without a limb or loses an arm or leg due to disease or injury, it is possible to replace it with an artificial limb called a prosthesis. A prosthesis is actually a replacement for any body part, such as eyes, fingers, or ears. People who have prosthetic limbs, such as athletes or climbers, sometimes outperform those with natural limbs. It's not just athletes who have prosthetics. Many people need an artificial replacement for a missing body part. Most prosthetic limbs are made from a plastic and carbon fiber material that is lightweight and strong. Every prosthesis is specially designed for the person who will use it. Sometimes the main aim is cosmetic. Prosthetics can be made to look very realistic and be colored to match the person's skin tone. For others, controllability is more important. Back to gamers. And this particular stretch helps loosen up your wrists and forearms. To do this stretch, start by putting your fingers and palms together with your fingers pointed upwards and your elbows pointing outwards like you're praying. Hold this position for 30 seconds or more. To increase the intensity, slowly lower your hands while keeping them together. Now, for the second stretch, remain in the same position as you were in for the prayer position stretch, except now you are going to press the backs of your hands together with your fingers facing down. Hold the stretch for 30 or more seconds. To increase the intensity, slowly raise your hands while keeping them together and keeping your elbows pointed outwards. Here's the supine flexors stretch. For this stretch, you'll perform the stretch on each hand separately. Start with your left side and keep your elbow extended and your palm facing upwards. Using your other hand, gently pull on the bottom half of your fingers so that you are pulling your wrist downwards. You'll feel moderate discomfort, but you shouldn't feel any pain. But if you do feel pain, ease up a bit on your pull. Hold this stretch for 30 seconds and then repeat on the other hand. Now, for the next stretch, the pronated extension stretch, you'll be using the same position you were in for supine flexor stretch, except your hand will be facing downwards instead of upwards. Use your other hand to gently pull down on the outside of your fingers so that your wrist is slowly lowered and you feel the stretch in the top part of your forearm. Hold this stretch for 30 seconds and then repeat on the other side. This will help you loosen up all of your fingers and thumbs. Relax your hand and face your palm towards your chest. Using your other hand, grab the tip of your thumb and lightly pull so that you're extending your thumb outwards and hold for 10 seconds. Repeat on your other thumb and fingers on both hands. It can be done on your wrists too. Relax your hand in front of your body with your palm facing towards you. Use your other hand to gently grab the hand facing you near your wrist joint and pull outwards until you feel a slight discomfort. Hold for 7 seconds and then repeat on the other hand. For the finger extension stretch, hold your finger using the other hand and just hold it underneath the knuckle. Tap gently on top of the finger and just do this repeatedly. Repeat this for the other knuckles that you have in all of your fingers in both hands. For the thumb extension stretch, take your thumb in the palm of your hand, close your fingers around it, and slowly start to bend your wrist towards the outside of your hand where your little finger is. You should feel the stretch along your forearm. You should now be able to answer these questions. Why not answer them in the comment section below? Have a look at some of the answers that have already been suggested. Why not comment on those answers to say whether you support the ideas or not? I hope you've really enjoyed this video. Please leave it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more information about features that you need to concentrate on in Key Stage 3 Science. Take care of yourselves. Bye.